A reminder of our top stories. Defense headquarters blames terrain conditions for delayed troop response in Christmas Eve attacks. Ondo Governor mourns late predecessor, visits family in Ibadan. NSCDC uncovers illegal refinery in Gombe. The year 2023 was an interesting year for Nigeria's political players as it started with the nation's general elections. However, several events witnessed have defined the political space with intrigues and counter-reactions from all players involved. Our correspondent, Marvelous Obomanu, takes us through events that have played out in the course of the year and have defined Nigeria's politics.
2023, for many Nigerians, commenced with earnest expectations for the general elections. Nigerians were expectant for a successful polls, with key candidates from across several political parties. However, all eyes were on the big four parties. The elections came with much euphoria, and for the first time in many election cycles, the spoils were divided among the big four parties of the All Progressives Congress, the People's Democratic Party, the Labour Party, and the New Nigeria People's Party. However, despite the interest and intensity of activities, the All Progressives Congress presidential candidate, Bola Tinubu, took the day.
We shall consult and dialogue, but never dictate.
Activities now shifted to the Election Petitions Court, while preparations for the handover of a new government commenced in full swing. Also, events at the nation's parliament also became heated up, following the race for the leadership positions in both chambers of the 10th National Assembly. Upon inauguration of a new parliament, Godswill Akpabio emerged leader of the Senate, while Yusuf Abbas emerged the Speaker of the House of Representatives. The Presidential Election Petitions Court commenced its pre-trial hearing on the 8th of May 2023 after receiving petitions from the candidates of opposition political parties. Although the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court were in sync in their separate judgments that affirmed President Bola Tinubu's victory, opposition candidates still accusing the judiciary of favoring the APC presidential candidate, rejecting the judgments.
If the Supreme Court, the highest court in the land, implies by its judgment that crime is good and should be rewarded, then Nigeria has lost.
It is therefore with great dismay that I observe that the court's decision contradicts the overwhelming evidence of election rigging.
Before the Supreme Court judgment, the issue of President Tinubu's academic certificates at Chicago State University also dominated the airwaves.
The entire Chicago University matter, as well as Chief Bola Ahmed Tinubu's many other lingering identity question marks, have further worsened Nigerian less than glorious image internationally.
Within the opposition Labour Party, a contest of sorts emerged for the leadership of the party. Both Julius Abure and Lamidi Apapa and their supporters pitched their tents against each other, throwing brickbats and fighting who will lead the party. Meanwhile, following the swearing-in of President Bola Tinubu as the new president of Nigeria and his announcement stating the removal of petrol subsidy, Nigeria's organized labor unions drew the battle line with the new government, accusing it of insensitivity.
There was no strike before the issue of removal of fuel subsidy and promises. In fact, it was the government that said, ask for palliative, ask for wage. And we have asked for it, and we couldn't get any. That strike was a product of frustration.
On July the 28th, President Tinubu transmitted ministerial nominations to the parliament for screening and approval. However, 3 nominees did not make the court. The president was criticized by citizens for the overbloated nominees. While the new administration was taking shape, off-cycle elections were conducted on November the 11th in the 3 states of Imo, Bayelsa, and Kogi. Opposition parties also condemned the outcome of the polls.
Uploading to the portal, to the IRF, had started while even voting was taking place, was still ongoing. So how did that happen? That they should go to their back-end server and confirm the results they were about to announce, that they are not correct. So INEC refused to do that.
All attention now shifted to Ondo State, located in Nigeria's southwest region. The health status of the governor, who had not been seen in public life, now took center stage. Following his return from Germany and his inability to resume work, the issue was finally resolved following an intervention by President Tinubu.
What the people want is for Governor Akeredolu to completely accept, if he could, that he can no longer run the state and let the state be. Leave power and let there be a substantive governor.
Meanwhile, the political atmosphere in oil-rich River State was also being charged, with the State House of Assembly commencing impeachment proceedings against the governor, Siminalayi Fubara. Lawmakers in the state became divided into 2 factions, one backed by former Governor Yusuf, and the second loyal to Fubara.
He said notice which indicated the various particulars of his misconduct and signed by the 24 members of the day before this House on the 30th of October 2023.
Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu has waded in on the political impasse going on in Nigeria's rich oil river state by calling on all parties concerned to a truce. At the end, a consensus was reached, but it has also generated pockets of criticisms here and there. Many River State indigenes have called on Governor Fubara not to pay attention to his political distractors, but rather focus on delivering governance to the people of River State. It is expected that year 2024 will present an opportunity for political players to reflect on how best to handle their political differences in order to move the nation forward. Marvelous Obomano, reporting for News Central.
Looking back to the last 360 days, what is your story? News Central's Austin Azu spoke with some people in Asaba, capital of Delta State, and filed in this report.
Journeying through more than 360 days, the outgoing year 2023 will not end without stamping an impression in the soul of people. To some, it's flaring, while to others, it might not be far from gloom to doom. The Naira crunch at the beginning of the year, orchestrated by the Naira redesign notes by the Central Bank of Nigeria, left some people crawling. Then came the announcement of petrol subsidy removal by the federal government and its attending consequence.
2023, he favored me in all ramification. I want to say is by the grace of God. It was a great year that I gave birth to my son. It was a very wonderful year because I thank God I gave birth, I'm alive, child is alive.
A hearing-impaired artisan, Chinedu Destiny, who spoke through an interpreter, lamented the challenges experienced and prayed better year 2024.
Say 2024, we want to make everywhere they free. When enough food, because people, the masses are suffering. People himself to chop na problem, to pay transport for house, come shop na problem. So we don't need hardship for 2024.
Other artisans and traders who recounted their difficulties within the year called on President Bola Tinubu to restore the nation's economy.
My best moment in 2023
is the moment I heard that the scarcity was over, and the circulation of money came back to normal. So that was my best moment. I started doing work and my business started growing bit by bit.
Because even the condition of the country is still affecting our business, even if we have handwork, still affecting it.
This year to now is terrible. But let's watch now. Let's see, maybe if God can intervene, maybe they'll be changed next year. Because always we are mostly fuel and the high cost of living.
And not experience what we experienced this 2023 again to 2024. 2024 will be an open door for people.
With every new year comes the promise of possibilities and opportunities. This is what many citizens are looking up to as the countdown to 2024 continues. Austin Azu, reporting for News Central.